Hello and welcome back to the Satoshi Society YouTube channel. My name is AJ, one of the co-hosts here, and we have a lot to talk about today. Of course, we had the FOMC meeting last night, and if you're not aware of it, we did have a 50 basis point rate hike. So, exactly what we expected. Now, this is good. Slightly, we saw a little push towards the upside. We saw people get a little bit too excited, and then we saw the price pull back. And this is what I was anticipating yesterday. Me and Ben were saying this yesterday. We were expecting that because initially, it's good that it's not a 75 basis point rate hike, but it's bad because the rates are still increasing. So, it was bound to happen. The pullback was bound to happen. And yeah, we're going to get straight on into the charts and take a look at what happened, where I expect the price to go. And I'm sure you are aware of the thumbnail as well, and the title is a bit out there, but I will explain why I'm saying this as well. I've been saying that 10,000, 12,000 is a possibility, but I've got some more evidence to show as well. So yeah, please make sure you smash a like on this video before we get into it. It tells me that you want to see more technical analysis videos and you want me to bring you more trades as well. I'm going to talk about a trade that I was going to enter, but I didn't enter, and I'll speak about why I didn't enter that as well. But yeah, let's get straight into the video. Please make sure you smash that like button. And Crypto Invest, it is good to see you back. Good day to you. So jumping straight on into the charts, as we can see here, we got the 50 basis points as we expected, forecasted was the 50 basis point rate hike, and we did in fact get that. But what I want to show you is this chart right here, the Bitcoin 4-hour chart. Now, looking at this, we're still in this range. Okay, yesterday, yes, we did have that push towards the upside, and we did come up to almost $18,400, and that is because that 50 basis point rate hike did come out, and some people thought it was good. This is what we were expecting yesterday. People would think this is good, but it's not good. It's still not good because the rates are still being increased. The rates are still increasing, so it isn't good. And when people realize that, and don't give in to the FOMO, then we're going to see that price pull back. And that is exactly what happened. As we can see right here, we're still within this range. Okay, we have this 4-hour range. We've been trying to trade this. Unfortunately, a while back, around end of November, I was ill. Unfortunately, there would have been a really, really nice long that we could have taken there. Around 40% in a profit that we would have made on that. But unfortunately, I was ill. I was away. I couldn't bring that trade for you. And then we were looking for a short from the value area high. We tried to short that. It played in our favor slightly. We were in around 12% profit on that trade, but then we got stopped out on that trade, unfortunately. Coming into that FOMC meeting, the price did push towards the upside, but we move on. We look for that next trade, and the next trade that I did in fact find was last night, exactly when the FOMC meeting or the 50 basis point rate hike came out. I saw that and I decided against trading it. And looking at it now, I sort of wish I did trade, but you trade that, but you can't look at it that way. I decided not to trade because there was a lot of volume coming in, and it's not always the best time to be trading when we do have some news coming out like that, because anything can happen. I decided against trading it, but the reason why I was going to trade this is because we were coming into a cluster of resistance. So the trade that I was looking for was actually a short, and it would have been a really, really nice short. But as I said, I went against the trade because I just thought it was a bit unsafe to trade at that moment in time. I was considering coming live and entering that trade, but yeah, I didn't. But a reason why I was going to enter this potential short position was because, again, we have this ascending parallel channel. Now, the other one wasn't well respected, okay, meaning that, you know, it was an invalid pattern, but we're forming another one here on the 4 hour. It's been respected on the 8 hour. It's even respected on the 3 hour and the 2 hour as well, and I'll go through that in a second. But yeah, we've got this ascending parallel channel, and as you can see, we tested the resistance last night as soon as that 50 basis point rate hike did come out. We also had the previous high from here, so the range high coming in at approximately coming in at exactly, sorry, $18,118. That was another level of resistance that I was looking at. And then, of course, we had this daily level here. So I was thinking of potentially stagnating some shorts within this area here. So let me get my pen tool out. I was considering stagnating the shorts between this area here. And as you can see, if I did do that, you know, we would be in some nice profit here. But unfortunately, I decided against it. You know, it's probably, you know, I was thinking more on the safe side than risking, you know, potentially losing another trade. But the third reason why, or sorry, the fourth reason why I was potentially going to enter this trade is because coming to the 3 hour, we were forming a bearish divergence as well. Also on the 2 hour and the 1 hour as well, we were forming bearish divergences there. So for me, looking just solely on the technicals, that was a perfect entry for a short position. And this is what I like to look for. You know, I like to look for confluence. I like to look for these big cluster of resistances and those divergences to enter a potential short position, and vice versa for a long position. And, you know, if the FOMC meeting did not happen yesterday, you know, say it was next week, then I would have 100% entered this trade. This was a perfect setup for a short position. But yeah, as I said, I decided against shorting just in case. You know, I knew that the 50 basis point rate hike was bad, and I did expect a pullback. But however, normally what we see is when we see a rate hike decrease from the previous rate hike, we do tend to see a push towards the upside. So, you know, I was just worried about that push towards the upside. I was worried how high that could have gone. So, you know, that's why I decided against it. Crippy got into a small short at $18,100. So far, so good. Congratulations to you. That was a really nice short. You know, I wish I shorted, but, you know, we can't dwell on it. We move on. We look for that next short. Sorry, the next trade. You know, it might not be a short; it could be a long position. But yeah, we wait for that next trade. Now, that's a trade that I would have taken if the FOMC meeting did not happen. But now, what I want to show you is sort of the whole point of the video. Okay, the thumbnail, 10K. Why am I adding to this? Why am I, you know, bringing you another video talking about 10K? You know, if you've been following the channel, you will know that I've been talking about 10, 12, 14K for a while now, and I still think that's a possibility. But there's another pattern, and it's actually to do with this ascending parallel channel here. That's, you know, it's telling me that 10K is pretty likely. So what we're going to do is we're going to come to the likes of the 12 hour, or should we have a look at the 8 hour? Either or, you know, it gives the same story. Let's have a look at the 8 hour then. So I'm just going to get rid of a few of these lines so that we can see this a little clearer. So let's get rid of some of these trend lines here. Where's that daily level? Let's move that to the top there. There we go. So we got rid of some of these lines here, and it makes it a little bit clearer for us to see. But what I am looking at right now is, okay, we've got this ascending parallel channel, but can we take it as another pattern? And the other pattern that I am taking it as is, in fact, a bear flag. Okay, you know, the other one I was looking at potentially a bear flag, but it was a bit smaller. Okay, and this is a bigger parallel channel, ascending parallel channel, and for me, this is just looking like a prime bear flag for me. Okay, so of course we have the flagpole from the top to the bottom here. And then we have the bear flag right here. Now, if we take the potential, you know, the potential price target to the breakout point. So let's just get rid of this extended right line here. So we take the flagpole from the high to the low, the swing high to the swing low, to the potential breakout point. So let's say the breakout point could be around there. This gives us a price target of around $11,300, so close to that $10,000 mark. For me, you know, this is right now looking like a prime bear flag. And if this does break towards the downside, then I think, you know, this is going to be that next target. $11,300 is possibly that next target. Now we have to zoom out as well and go into the daily. We still have this bear flag in play as well. So from this swing high here to this swing low right here, taking that flagpole to the breakout point there, that is also giving us a price target as well. This is telling us a price target of $8,200. Maybe I've done that wrong. I remember last time it was giving us a bit of a smaller target. Let me have a look. Taking it from that swing high there, it was giving us a smaller target last time. Okay, $9,200. It was giving me a target around 10,000 last time, so I'm not sure why it's giving me a lower target now. But yeah. Again, we still have this bear flag in play as well. You know, we broke towards the downside. We are seeing the price come down. You know, it's not coming down as quick as we would like it to see, but it is still initially going down. And this is just sort of that icing on the cake as well. You know, we've got another bear flag here. If this breaks towards the downside, we're still looking for lower. Okay, this is giving us a target of $11,300 coming to that weekly chart. You know, if we break 14,000, if we come down to $11,300, you know, close to that $10,000 mark, I think we could have a wick down to 10,000. You know, as a major support level here. If we did come down to this level here, you know, this would be a great buying opportunity. There's lots of support there. There's a big cluster of confluence there as well. You know, I would be looking to long. I'll be looking to buy down here. So yeah, for me, this is looking prime for a pullback. You know, even looking at the volume. Okay, you know, we've been talking about this volume for a while now. We did get a little spike in bullish volume yesterday, of course, because of the FOMC meeting. But for me, it's still not enough to keep the momentum going towards the upside. You know, we want to see a much bigger spike in volume to keep that price going up. And we've not seen that, okay? So, you know, the volume is still slightly decreasing. You know, we've had a little spike there, but not enough for me to be happy that we are going to see that price continue towards the upside. So, sort of the chart that I'm going to be focusing on now is this bear flag right here, this ascending parallel channel. And right now, we are actually holding support at the mid-range. If you've been following the channel for a while, you will know that I preach that the mid-range of parallel channels does act as support and resistance. I can clearly show you right now, okay, right there, resistance, right there, resistance after the breakdown, after the break towards the upside. We use this as support right there, bit of resistance there before the breakup, a bit of support along here before the breakdown as well. So we are using that mid-range as of right now as a bit of support. But if we do break that mid-range, where would I expect the price to go? Well, I'd expect the price to go to the bottom of this bear flag or ascending parallel channel, whatever you want to call it for now. And yeah, if we break towards the downside here, the first target that we're going to have is from the high of the parallel channel to the low to the potential breakout point. So this will bring us down to 16,000. And if we're bringing up, let's bring up this fixed range again here. Okay, so that will take us to the value area low of the range that we're in. And I am going to, you know, I would have loved to enter this short. We would have been in a really great short. But for me, it just wasn't safe to enter that short position. So, you know, I decided against it. I'm going to look for another short. Okay, maybe we can come back down, find support at the value area high, bounce off of it, you know, form some sort of double top here, and then we see the price come down to that value area low. I'm going to look for something like that. Reason being is because we're actually respecting this value area high very well. As you can see, we tested it literally to the dollar there, tested it pretty much to the dollar there, and we tested it literally to the dollar there as well. So we tested it 3 times pretty much to the exact dollar. So I'm expecting this to be a bit of support before we do get that potential break towards the downside. So maybe we can see a bounce off of this value area high, see a little push towards the upside, form some sort of double top, maybe some sort of bearish divergence, hidden bearish divergence, one of the other, and then we see that price pull back. That's what I would, in fact, be looking at. This ascending parallel channel or this bear flag, whatever we want to call it, it is bearish. So I would expect this to break towards the downside. There's a higher probability that this would break towards the downside. For me, it's still not looking bullish. The volume is not there. I would have liked to see a bigger spike in volume for this push towards the upside to be sustainable and, you know, for the bulls to keep that momentum going. But the volume just is not coming in, okay? Yes, a bit of the bulls came in, but that was because of the excitement of the FOMC meeting yesterday when we got 50 instead of a 75 basis point rate hike. You know, the rate hikes are decreasing, which, you know, is good, but it's bad because they're still increasing, okay? The rates are still increasing, even though you know, we've gone from a 75 to a 50. Initially, having a 50 is still very bad. So for me, I'm still expecting this price to pull back. People have realized that, you know, the silly money, okay, has FOMO'd in there, saw that 50 and said, oh, yeah, we're going to the moon, we're going to 20K, we're going to 30K. You know, there's a very small amount of those people, as you can see from the volume here, but they are very silly. That is why we call it silly money. And yeah, the smart people have realized that, you know, 50, it's still bad. Okay, it is still bad. And we're going to see that price pull back. And you can see it with the volume here as well. Okay, yes, we got a bit of spike in volume, but it wasn't enough to keep that momentum going. So right now for me, I am still bearish. I am still looking at the price coming down back down to 16,000. And if that is the case, then, you know, we would have broken out of the bear flag and, you know, I would be expecting much, much lower as well. So I am going to be looking at entering another short here. Hopefully we can form some sort of double top here, as I said. I'll look for that short. And then, of course, you will be the first people to know about it. I just didn't think it was safe enough to enter that short last night just because I didn't know how high that pump was going to go. You know, if we actually look at it, I can show you where I would have entered and where my stop loss would have been. And I actually did this yesterday, and I looked at it, and it would have come close to that stop loss as well. So looking at it here, so we would have stagnated the shorts. So the entry point would have been around. Actually, no, it didn't come. It didn't actually come close to that stop loss, would have it? Anyway, let's not dwell on it. Let's not dwell on it. Let's just hope there's another shorting opportunity because I am expecting a pullback. Short term, I'm seeing us going to 17,500 and 80, then around 17,200, maybe a little bounce from there. Overall, still bearish. Yeah, you know, for me, that's sort of the exact same story that I'm looking at here as well. You know, we've respected this value area high very well, okay, recently as resistance. So for me, this is going to be a bit of support. So we could potentially bounce off $17,300, get a slight push towards the upside. Maybe, you know, maybe we could come close to 18,000 again, or just, you know, $17,500 around that area. And then I would expect the pullback from there. Or we could just not respect this value area high, break back below it, break back into the range and see that price dump from there. I've seen someone pump it. Yeah, so, you know, I would love to see it pump it. My portfolio would love to see a pump. But right now, for me, it's just not the reality of things. I just don't see that pump happening. There's a lot of bearish signs out there, fundamentally and technically as well. So for me, I just don't see that pump happening. You know, if you haven't been watching, you know, we had a big cluster of resistance right here, big cluster of resistance. The price is pulling back. We're still within this range, okay, because we have this previous high here. That is the range high. What has happened is the price has come above the range high, grabbed the liquidity from the range high, and we've seen the price dump, okay? So hitting all those stop losses up here, okay, we've hit all those stop losses, and then the price has just dumped from there. So grabbing all that liquidity from back here. So, you know, for me, it's still looking very, very bearish. Volume is telling me it's bearish. Fundamentals are telling me it's bearish. You know, with that 50 basis point rate hike, that's still bad for the market. It's still bad for the market. And yeah, technicals, you know, as I've explained, they're still looking very bearish for me as well. So yeah, that's everything for Bitcoin. Moving on to Ethereum quickly. Exactly the same story here. Exactly, you know, Bitcoin and Ethereum. Let's have a look. Look, this is Ethereum 4-hour chart. This is Bitcoin 4-hour chart here as well. Look how correlated they look right now. They are very correlated. And Ethereum, you know, I was looking for a trade on Ethereum as well. You know, we had above value area high, which is a sign to enter into a short position. We had the previous high here, which we actually tested to the exact dollar as well. So we tested that right there to the exact dollar. that's another sign to enter a short position. And then we go down into the smaller time frames, and we saw here, we had bearish divergence forming on the 3-hour, on the 2-hour, and on the 1-hour as well. So for me, that would have been a prime shorting opportunity. And again, I decided against it because we have the FOMC meeting coming out, and that short position would have been opened as soon as that came out. And for me, it was just a little bit too dangerous to enter into that short position. But of course, can't dwell on it. We move on. We look for that next trading opportunity. And of course, whenever I enter a short position or a long position, any trade whatsoever, you'll be the first people to know about it. I will come live and I will show you me trading this. I'm trying to be 100% transparent with all the trades that I take. The last trade I took, I was transparent with you there. I did make a loss. Okay, but we've still had a very good track record. We've made 10 trades in the past 2.5 to 3 months. 8 of them have been winning trades. 2 of them have been losing trades. So that's a pretty good run that we've been on. And the 2 trades that we did actually lose, we only lost 10% on each of them. Okay, so that was a 20% loss. But in one single trade, okay, the trade before the one that we've just done, that was 120%. Okay, that was a 120% trade in just one trade. Okay, so you can see that the risk to reward is very high on our trades. So we have been very profitable recently. December has been a bit slow. Unfortunately, I did miss a trade at the end of November because I was ill. And I wasn't coming live. And, to be honest, I was so ill, I wasn't even trading myself. And then we've missed this one, but, I missed this one because it just wasn't safe to trade for me. But again, we move on. We look for that next trade. There is going to be thousands and thousands and hundreds of thousands, millions of trades in the future. So we can't dwell on one that we miss. We move on. We look for that next trade. And yeah, you will be the first people to know about it. As I said, I want to be 100% transparent with you. And yeah, I want to continue bringing you trades. And if you want me to continue bringing you trades as well, please make sure you smash a like on this video. If you enjoy the TA that I'm bringing you as well, please make sure you smash a like on the video. But for Ethereum, I am expecting the same story for Bitcoin. The same as what Bitcoin is going to do. I'm expecting that pullback. First target sort of around value area low, so $1,166 is where I'd expect the price to go. If we're going to see Bitcoin pull back, we're going to see Ethereum pull back as well. Let's go on to the 8-hour. Are we forming some sort of bear flag on here? To be honest, I actually haven't looked. Let's get the magnet tool out. Let's see if we're. It looks as though we could be. I'd like to see more touches on the supports and resistances, but yeah, we could look at this and potentially call this a rising parallel channel or a bear flag. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see if we get more touches on the support and resistances. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, for me, for Ethereum, exactly the same story. We've come into a big cluster of resistance up here. Okay, value area high, previous swing high here. We tested that to the dollar, and then we were forming some bearish divergences as well on the likes of the smaller time frames. So for me, for Ethereum, I'm expecting a pullback down to sort of value area low, maybe even a bit lower as well, coming down and testing this level here. As we can see, we have this gray line here, and that is a perfect support level. As you can see, to the dollar test there, to the dollar test there as well. So that's going to be a critical support level for us as well. And yeah, if we do come to value area low, okay, of course, I'm going to be looking for another trade to enter a short position. If we can get that second entry for that short position, that would be great. And I am going to be looking for that to enter that short position in a second entry. And of course, I will show you that. I'll show you me trading it. I'll show you me actually on Bybit trading that as well. If you want to trade with Bybit, links are in the description. Make sure you click those links because you can get up to $4,000 in sign-up bonuses as well with FOMC as well. So make sure you take advantage of them. Yeah. I will actually show you me on Bybit trading them. So yeah, I'm going to see if I can look for a second entry on this short position here. Most of the time with the shorts that I enter, there is always a second entry. What I've realized recently is I tend to enter trades quite early, and then they tend to get longed out a little bit, and then there's a second entry, and then we see the price actually go where I expect it to go. So hopefully we can get that second entry. If not, no worries. We wait for that next trade, and that next trade could actually be a long position. Okay, we could, if we're going to stay within this range, then I'm going to be looking for a long position. Okay, I'm going to be looking from longing from the value area low to the value area high. So if we do miss this short, the next trade that we probably will take is a long. We'll have to see, because if we do break below the range, if we do break out of the range, then we're not going to be looking for that long position. We're going to be looking for more short positions, because if we break the range, we're going to see much, much lower. But yeah, that's pretty much all I've got for you. Of course, if there's any updates, you will be the first people to know about it. Bitcoin for me still looking very bearish. Ethereum still looking very bearish. I'm expecting a pullback potentially to 16,000. If we do break towards the downside of this parallel ascending channel, for me, it's looking likely. The volume's looking likely as well. There's just not enough volume there to keep that momentum going towards the upside. So I'm still expecting this pullback. I am still bearish. So yeah, that's everything I've got for you. Please make sure you smash a like on this video if you want me to continue bringing videos like this, updating you with the TA, and bringing you trades as well. And yeah, of course, I will bring you any updates if it is necessary. If not, I will see you tomorrow for the next live. And yeah, again, thank you very much for watching. Smash that like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, turn that bell notification on so you never miss another one of our videos. Thank you very much for watching. See you later, guys.